I really should plan these sessions before we start because I'm meant to have
this bit at least.
a funny bit. Yeah, I haven't. I never do. I make it up as I go along.
Cue the music.
So, Matt, thank you for helping me out. My New Year's resolution will be do some prep work for these intro sessions, and then I'll be good to go. What are we drinking today?
We're drinking your granddad's favourite Double Diamond.
Double Diamond in a 440ml can at 3.8% ABV. Let's give it a go.
Go.
Looks like a lager.
Mm.
There we go. Okay, looks like a lager.
It is.
Doesn't smell like a lager.
Got a fizz it. No, it doesn't.
Oh, it's quite hoppy. Just yet. That's it. End of podcast.
Yeah, end of podcast.
I won't do any prep for the start. You don't do any for the middle.
It is. Yeah, drinks like a lager.
Yeah.
Doesn't particularly look like a lager. It's a bit lighter than a lager, I would say.
Fair.
And it's got that citrus. It's got a very hint of citrus, a little bit of tropical flavours, but not too much. I'm not really getting a huge amount of tropical, but yeah, it's actually quite refreshing.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. Double Diamond or Double D or whatever you want to go by, I just remember it from being a kid and seeing it in pubs. I mean, I don't actually think I've ever drunk it before.
No. Because it had been all but phased out. Well, it has been phased. It got phased out mid late 80s, but we'll come on to why it got phased out later on. But yeah, it was the staple of all the pubs back in the day. Started off. Well, actually, it's been brewed as the name has been brewed since 1876.
Seriously?
As an Indian pale ale, yeah. By Samuel Allsopp and Son in Burton-on-Trent.
Okay.
And then in 1946, that company was bought out by Iron Coop.
Yeah.
And it was run as Iron Coop and Allsopp Limited.
Yeah.
That was until 1958. And then 1958, they dropped the Allsopp Limited. But since about 1946, it's been really aggressively advertised. It's one of the first beers that was properly advertised. It's got the little man, it's got the jingle, and it's got the slogan, which is "A double diamond works wonders."
A double diamond works wonders. That's not the slogan it's got on the can now. On the can now, it says "Brewed as a pale ale, drinks like a lager, tastes bloody wonderful."
Yeah. So, but that was the original. So that was the original. But yeah, huge marketing campaign. 59.
Yeah.
They started making kegs.
Okay.
And again, it was one of the first keg beers.
Right, yeah.
As we know them.
Yeah. So
as we knew them back in the days.
One of those symbols of the keg beer revolution, if you like. Being reliable,
very
consistent,
much.
Easy to care. Because again, the keg, as we've talked about numerous times before, a lot of kegs were ones you'd walk past and they'd just decide that they'd had enough and turn because you looked at it funny. These were easy to drink. They were national. They could advertise it because it wasn't like social media where you could target, right? So you can just go, hey, let's just at Manchester. You got to hit everyone.
Then remember, it was pasteurized as well. So longer shelf life, all of that.
Ooh.
So the word I was trying to remember was, or I was looking through my notes and thinking about that word, and it was revolution. It was the keg beer revolution, and it was, at the forefront of that.
I mean, mouthfeel, it's light-bodied. It's pretty easy drinking. I can see why they're saying brewed as a pale ale, drinks like a lager. Not a lot of bitterness to it. I'm pleasantly surprised because my perception of Double D or Double Diamond was not that it would be this. So is it the same recipe as it used to be?
I don't think so. Again, they changed the process. They've dragged, I think by all accounts, they've dragged the name out of the 1980s and they've made a new beer.
Right. Okay. So do we know what hops are in it?
Yep. We've got Citra and Mosaic.
So they're relatively newish hops. They certainly
They're
weren't around in
new hops, and that's what
1876.
gives me the idea that it's not what it was.
Yeah.
That and the fact that we're drinking it and we're thinking it's all right.
Yeah.
Because it had an awful reputation among certain beer drinkers in the 70s and 80s.
Really?
So, yeah, actually, it was one of the beers that CAMRA was formed to oppose, and it was named by them as one of the beers that it was there to oppose. The keg,
Really?
that keg revolution.
So the CAMRA was formed to stop this consistent beer production.
Yeah, gassy and tasteless beer is what they were calling it. In fact, they used to sell badges that had the letters DD is K9P.
DD is K9P.
K9P. So that's what the badge would say. So basically, it was piss.
Oh. Okay, well that's explicit button pressed again.
Yeah, that's not that explicit, is it?
No,
for God's sake.
No, because it's bollocks.
Yeah, I'm not going to use any of the others.
No, stop there.
Yeah, so it was one of those beers that they went, no, this is repulsive. We shouldn't be doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing I was trying to say is it isn't that. It isn't a awful beer. It's not a, it's not a bad tasting beer. And it's one that's quick, it's easy. A little gassy for my liking, but
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Apart from that, I think it's great.
And who's brought it back?
So the modern revival is a guy called Jamie Allsopp, who was the five times great grandson. And in 2021, he set the business up again, which was Samuel Allsopp and Sons Limited.
Yeah.
So they started then trying to recreate its original heritage line, the IPA, the Pale Ale, and their best bitter. And they've got the recipe from original ledgers. They bought a pub. There's a pub in Kensington called the Blue Stoops, and you can buy all these beers on draft there.
I've not been to the Blue Stoops, but seeing as Kensington isn't far from where I work, I may well be heading there.
You may be on the and today it's brewed in partnership with a company called the Kirkstall Brewery in Leeds. It's 3.8% ABV Pale Ale.
Yeah,
and drinks like a light crisp finish.
It's nice.
And uses Citra and Mosaic.
It's got a sort of, it is quite citrus, sort of lemony, almost tiny bit of grapefruit. It's a little bit sweeter than some of the other IPAs we've been having. So very little bitterness to it. Not much of an aftertaste. It sort of goes down and we're halfway through a can and we've only gone in 8 minutes. As far as food goes, because we're racing through this, as far as food goes, it's a still standard thing that go. I'd imagine you'd pair with lager. So, ham, egg, and chips.
Yeah. Now I did a little bit of research for this, and to be honest, you can pair it with almost anything.
Go on.
But okay, so full meals, you're looking at anything from bangers and mash to chicken tikka masala.
Right.
The creamy curries.
But not creamy,
pork scratching, salty crisps, pickled onions, Scotch egg, any of those kind of pub foods.
Yeah.
Burgers.
Yeah.
Some of the more, if you've got curry, so moderate ones that are not going to have, the spices. Yeah. There's a little bit of malt in there. Obviously, there's a little bit of sweetness, like you said. So any of those creamy curries.
Well,
and also things like your traditional pubs, so ploughman's, sausage roll, ham sandwich with, as long as there's mustard, because the mustard then.
It was only a couple of weeks ago we were talking about you and your beautiful lady wife skipping through the cornfields with a bottle of 7 giraffes yes. and a stick of celery randomly. I don't know why.
We don't like celery. Neither of us.
And then also harking back to last week's episode and thinking about food that goes with this. Last week you came up with the knowledge of boiling your halloumi or putting your halloumi in boiling water for a couple of minutes to release the tension so it becomes less squeaky. And I said I was having a barbecue with the family that evening and I would give it a go. And God damn you, Mr. Nibs. It only went and worked. So
it does.
This would go quite well with that. Bringing it back together again. So citrus dressing to it, bit of thyme. It's almost florally the way this finish is. Not as floral as the 7 Giraffes, obviously, with the elderflower. And speaking of elderflower, we mentioned the fact that I've been on that totally wild weekend and you alluded to me getting food out of the bins.
Bin food.
And I told you that I'd come back to delight you in elderflower sparkling wine. Now, I'm pretty sure that 3 weeks after I put it in the cupboard, it should not still be bubbling as fast as it was when I first put it in. So skip brandy is my reference point. I may be making rocket fuel.
Yeah, meths. You're making meths.
Elderflower meth. I had a peek this morning thinking it's been 3 weeks since I put that in the cupboard. Oh my God!
Good. In this weather, it's going to be. It will be.
It has been a little warm. It isn't a dark, cool cupboard, but it has been a little warm. Speaking of warm, this will be great in the pub garden.
It certainly will.
Bit of a breeze.
It's also something differentiation I'd like to kind of make with the beers because this obviously comes in keg.
Yeah.
Comes in cans.
Yeah.
And I think that actually with the beer, this beer, it depending on what temperature you're going to serve it at.
Yeah.
So if you're serving this at cellar temperature, which 10 to 12 degrees, then you're looking at things like roast lamb or that sausage and mash, something a bit hefty. But if you're then or serving it with a can that's come out of a fridge and it's between 6 and 8, then you're looking at the cheeseburgers, the fish and chips,
that temperature change,
curry sauces.
Is that going to affect
like
how it interacts with the fat?
I don't know if it does. I think it. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the science of it, but I think the subtle hops and the malt is brought out at the higher temperatures, whereas the crisp, more refreshing is brought out at the lower temperatures.
Okay. Maybe that's one to test. I'll get two. Why would I buy another fridge? I'll just let one warm up.
I'll take it out. Or take it out half an hour before.
Yeah, okay. That's probably more logical.
Yeah.
And in the next, we've got a couple more episodes to go before one of our exciting, well, we think it's exciting. I think it'll be an absolute car crash of an episode. But we are heading to Southwark in the middle of July. So watch out for, I think it's the 24th of July when the episode goes live. We will be doing a podcast snippet where we try. There's potentially 800 beers. I got an email today said there are 800 beers to try.
800 beers.
So I will. Number one, I promised to get an intro sorted out for that for that episode. Number two,
standing in a field.
Yeah, the first few podcast clippets might be really informative.
Yeah.
The last few may just be Matt and I dribbling and telling the world that we love them. So
free beer. 800 breweries.
Yeah, I cannot guarantee we will have any of our standard podcast formats. So wait for that. That comes out towards the back end of July. We're there on the 17th, I think, or is it the 18th? 18th of July, one of the two.
I can't remember exactly. But I know we're there, and
on the Saturday. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Should be good. So we'll hopefully find a few more beers and things to try. And then also coming over the hill, if you're interested, we're waiting to do it, but we've got Sumo from Mad Squirrel, which is a fascinating story. When we first practiced this, and we did practice this before we went live, Sumo was the beer we kept practicing with. So my fear is we just go into practice mode on Sumo when we do it, which is why I've been avoiding it.
It was a car crash. That was awful, wasn't it, really? We didn't do it very well at all.
I'm hoping you can see the evolution of this podcast. If you've listened to us since episode 1, thank you. I know there's quite a large number of people who are joining us and have gone back to listen to it. Don't do that. Start with episode 3. It was much better when we got the hang of volume levels and things like that. But there's been a number of people who stuck through. Before episode 1, we were even worse.
We were.
Although
There was a lot more swearing.
There was a lot more swearing, and there was a lot of chuckling because we recorded one of our practice episodes in Italy when we were visiting your wife's family. And we were sat on a train listening afterwards. It was an hour and 15 minutes long for a podcast that we believed to be 30 minutes long. Hour and 15 minutes long. We found it hilarious. Nobody else found it very funny. We have not repeated that format.
No.
I think you promised to puree
a dog boring very quickly, I think.
Which was good. Back to Double Diamond as we've drifted off away. So this is, you said, the great, right, Mr. Great.
Five greats.
Great. One too many greats. Grandson of Samuel Allsopp has done this with the Kirkstall Brewery. I don't know a lot about the Kirkstall Brewery. In Leeds.
Yeah.
They helped come up with the recipe, or as you say, it kind of come from his granddad's books.
I think it's their recipe, but the Kirkstall actually do the brewing. I think they've got the facility.
Right.
So, at the moment it's in local supermarkets.
Yeah,
that's where I bought it. So probably doing more than some of the drinks we've had previously.
Yeah,
but I like it. I like the beer, and I like the idea that they're bringing back an old favourite. I obviously don't particularly want to go back to the 1970s and 80s pubs. Really,
what else would you be thinking they shouldn't be bringing back?
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot. Rickets, things like that.
Things you could drink.
Yeah, all right.
Rickets, scurvy, none of those things should come back.
Never good, not really. Diphtheria is always a bad one. But
there's a whole beer range name for someone there, isn't there?
Yeah, not one I really want to taste.
No,
I don't know. That kind of smoky, although kind of there's a little bit of nostalgia. And you know, as far as I was when I was a kid, I suppose.
Yeah.
70s up till 80, I was 7 or 8 in the 80s, start of the 80s. So maybe a little younger than that. But I remember being left outside pubs while my parents were inside with friends, and of an afternoon on a Saturday, and it sort of sat in a beer garden and with the elements. And they were, I think pubs are a lot more family friendly now, a lot more tolerant.
Well, I remember I went for a pub brand that switched from adult only to bringing families in, and having to sit with the old guys at the end of a bar and explain that, yes, there will be little rugrats running around, and they'd been sat in the same chair, couldn't change the furniture because it's tradition. I came in, they have the same, that idea of everyone having their own pint behind the bar, which seems to have vanished completely now. But they come in and have their own tankard that was behind the bar, had to be washed by hand, couldn't go through the machine. All those things seem to have faded away. I don't see that. I don't see that anywhere apart from small freehold pubs in small villages or.
Yeah, I think, and if they're run by a local a village themselves.
Yeah.
There's one in a town just over from us in Wivenhoe, and that's a community pub owned by the community.
Yeah,
and it's great. I like going in there because it feels quite.
Does the music stop quiet, and everyone look at you and go,
"Yeah, it's
not.
You? Yeah,
you're not from around these parts."
Something out of American Werewolf in London. No, exactly.
So
it's not exactly the slaughtered lamb.
Yeah, you think of Double Diamond, and you think about we mentioned Mackeson's way back when we talked about Theeks and Stouts. The bottle of Mackeson's that was around at the time. Watney's Red Barrel. There's another one that was.
Watney's Red Barrel was also another one that CAMRA targeted to. And, they did a really good job of getting rid of that tasteless, ultra-processed...
dishwater.
But, just tasteless stuff that people put out.
And I think that was around in the late 80s, early 90s as well, some of those ones. But they were fading out slowly. Like you said, this one's died.
As far as I'm concerned, you've still got Foster's, you've still got Carling, you've still got beers that should never have been.
Yeah, but shouldn't be allowed. But... You used to have Skull. Well, you haven't got Carling anymore. You have Carling Black Label, and you have Madry.
Yeah, well, exactly. Or Cruz Campo, or whatever the other ones are.
I'm still trying to understand why Madry has a logo with a man with a black country cap on. I don't see a lot of Spaniards wearing a flat cap.
Well, they're beret, aren't they? In the
That's
supposed
French.
to be in the Basque in the Basque region.
He's definitely not wearing a Basque.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's the Spanish for you, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not offending any Spanish people. I apologise.
Well, hang on. 2 weeks ago, you managed to do the Scottish and the Welsh.
I didn't.
So you're
I've
doing
never
pretty
annoyed
well.
the Scots. I've never annoyed the Scottish. I love Scottish. I think they're great people. I grew up for some of my life in a town in Northamptonshire that is 75% Scots, and actually most people have a Scottish accent. So when I came out of there and moved 40 miles down the road, I told them where I was from, and people were going, "Which part of Scotland's that?" It's Corby, Northamptonshire. It's still working town, or it was. And yeah, honestly, it was. In fact, another story. First time I went to Glasgow. My wife had been up there for work, and we were going to stay over the weekend. And got off the plane at the airport, jumped in a cab, take me into the centre of town, and got talking to the driver.
Yeah.
And the driver says, "Oh," he says, you obviously you're English, but you can understand me. There's no problems." And so he was a real broad Glaswegian.
Yeah.
Rattling on as with speed. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I was brought up in a steelworking town that's mainly Scots, so I've got an ear for it. So he said, "Oh, which town's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's Corby, Northamptonshire." And he says, "By Christ, that's a really rough town." And that was a Glaswegian cab driver.
Yeah.
Said that my hometown was rougher than Glasgow. But hey, it is one of those things. It was.
There you go.
I like the place. I like Scotland, and the Ouija's are second to none when you go out for a beer.
The what?
Ouija, Glaswegian.
As in.
Glaswegian, like Ouija. No, not Ouija. Ouija. Glaswegians. I like them. They're good fun people.
Heading down Sauchiehall Street.
Yeah, they're just so I'm not going to be slagging off the Scots. I think they're great.
No, I've had many good evening, well, we've had a good long weekend up there tasting whiskey left, right, and centre. My wife, who doesn't drink whiskey at all, unless you pair it with the most expensive chocolate known to man, in which case it's the most, and it has to be 125-year-old malt as well, because you've got no idea of value.
It was the 21-year-old Glengoyne, I think.
Yes,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
200 plus a bottle.
This is lovely. Yeah. This is very nice. Yes, and the chocolate was about 150 quid a slice as well. It was
an expensive holiday, that one.
But yeah, anyway, we're doing Glasgow there. But this is nothing to do with Glasgow. This is to do with Leeds and the Kirkstall Brewery, which fascinating fact, because I've had time to quickly double check on this. We talked about Leffe on our France trip being to do with monks and abbeys. The Kirkstall Brewery is a product of history and dedication. Since 1152, beer was brewed by the Cistercian monks of Kirkstall Abbey. And now their mission is to bring back craft beer and small levels and relatively small production life cycles. And they've collaborated with the Allsopps to produce Double Diamond.
Yeah. Cistercian. Is that the word? And not Cistercian.
It could be Cistercian.
I think you probably find it is.
It vanished off the page halfway through me, really. So I knew the first bit and I knew the end bit. I don't know what the letters in the middle were, but thank you for helping me out with it.
That's all right. Just,
refresh.
Education.
Oh,
education is our... That's what we're here for, education.
It's not always just me. We can educate other people too. Choose your fighter. We decided 2 weeks ago, and then sort of further compounded it last week when we were talking about Faith by Northern Monk, that the Italian definition, whilst it's useful, probably doesn't work for a lot of the beers we're talking about for several reasons. Number one, we don't know how much they produce, so that doesn't help. And number two, we don't know if it's pasteurised or unpasteurised. All we can really go is it's craft, because the same blokes owned it forever and it's not owned by InBev or Molsupers. So we said we'd use the UK pub definition you're moving forward, or our extrapolated one, which is where we're not allowed to use home cooked or homemade. If it's homemade, it has to be made in a home, not below someone's home in a pub. So craft beer needs to not be mass produced in a brewery in Bolton or Dagenham, I think we said last week, in Dagenham. and needs to have craft elements to it. So the problem here is Double Diamond should be as far away from craft beer as it's possible to be. However, it's independent at the moment.
Yeah.
It's produced in a craft beer specialist brewery.
Yeah.
Eek.
Well, it could well be. Obviously, again, it just because it was awful swill.
Yeah.
This isn't.
No.
And it's got some craft beer chops to it, you know? That's the... Yeah, I've run out.
I've run out. Yeah, I'd have another, but...
Should have had another one. I should have brought 2 up. Oh, all right. Happy.
I'm not going to have 2. Won't get anywhere with editing this podcast later if I have another one now. So I think if we go by pub definition, we're going to have to say this one fits into that craft beer mould, but probably isn't going to call itself a craft beer because it wants to be mainstream still.
Yeah. I think it's... I think if they... Yeah, it could be a craft beer. I don't think it's brewed to be a craft beer. I think it's brewed to be a to replace something like Madri or replace something like one of the lighter lagers.
And if it was in any pub nearby instead of Madri, I would be having it. And to be fair, I did stumble across it in a pub in Marylebone, which is what then I saw it in Tesco's. Oh, hello. What's happened? It's the same old bloke on the front with his white moustache and his cane and his tartan trousers. It's sort of like the beer equivalent of someone bringing back a 70s sitcom like The Good Life or something, but now they're filming in HD and widescreen and all the modern tech, and they've got Apple phones to check whether they should be planting vegetables or not. I think that was The Good Life. I don't remember.
It was The Good Life. That and the Geraldine the cow, I think it was. Anyway.
Whoa! That is, if that's true, that is immense pub quiz knowledge.
Look it up on your thingy.
On me Google Geraldine the cow in The Good Life.
Yeah.
How did you pull that fact out?
I don't know. I know there are so much nonsense I've got in my head.
What the pig's called?
Oh, it was a pig, was it?
No, what were the pigs called?
I haven't got a clue.
It wasn't a cow, so it wouldn't have fit a cow in the back garden of a suburban house in
don't know.
In Surbiton. It was a goat called Geraldine.
Oh, was it Geraldine the goat? Okay.
Yeah. And a cockerel called Lenin, and the pigs called Pinky and Perky.
Well, as you would do.
There you go. Well, to be fair, I'm pretty impressed you got the name right. Choose your fighter. Waffle on about Geraldine the goat. Choose your fighter. The current incumbent is still the William Brothers Brewing 7 Giraffes, which is a fantastic, extraordinary IPA with elderflower, the caramelly malt to it. I'm ever so lucky. I ordered 4 bottles, so I'll have 1 bottle left in my fridge, whereas your wife
no
is now
bottles left in my fridge, and my wife had a go at me after listening to the podcast.
So that sounds really nice. Can I try some?
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Can I? No, you can't. No, I'd like.
And this one hasn't got a head like washing up liquid like Faith did last week. So choose your fighter. Start off with flavour, and we're going by flavour in the category that with it sits. Weirdly, though, I don't know what category this sits in, because it says it's a pale ale, but it says it's a lager. So am I tasting this as a lager?
It is a pale ale, but drinks like a lager. I think the taste, if we class it as a pale ale, which it purports to be, although on the can, it's only in little writing that it says that it's a pale ale.
Yeah.
Everywhere else it just says it's beer. But hey, if you class it as a pale ale, it won't work. If you class this as a lager, it's excellent. So if we go by what they've classed themselves as, which is a pale ale, I think it's not. It hasn't got a huge amount of flavour. Would I remember what this tastes like without having a can beside me?
Flavour first, your flavour. Remember comes at the end. I know you like skipping ahead. You did this last week. I have to keep reining you back. That is my role on this podcast is to keep you in check primarily. So if we're talking about flavour in the category that it sits, it's called itself a pale ale with notes to lager. I'm with you. I don't think it excels as a pale ale in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So you're going to be saying 7 Giraffes wins that round. Second round then is drinkability. I could drink quite a lot of this because I'm on a hot sunny. We've had so much high heat recently. to your point, these at 5 degrees straight out of my fridge, sat with my feet in a paddling pool, the cold flannel on my head, or sleeping in a chest freezer, whatever way you've managed to keep cool over the last few weeks. I drink quite a lot of this.
I could. I think the only thing that would worry me, and it is and why I haven't finished mine, is because of the
gassiness. Yeah. But then I think that's a fairly unique. Would I want to drink this in November? Probably not. I'd probably have the 7 Giraffes in November. And I'm with you.
Also, if this got a little warmer, I would have.
If you leave yours much longer, it will be warmer.
It will, yeah, no. But it would be that if I left it, if it was a little warmer, if I was drinking this at, normal room temperature, then no, I wouldn't be drinking it straight out. It'd have to be in the fridge first.
Yeah, and then the final one was that character memorability. We haven't nailed the name, and I'm giving up. I'm just going to keep saying character memorability. We haven't nailed the name as a new category for number 3. 7 Giraffes now is 2 and a bit weeks ago that we had 7 Giraffes. It was lovely caramel, that elderflower taste afterwards. I confess I have ordered more, but I haven't drunk any more since I've tasted it, so I'm remembering that from then. I've just finished that. I can't tell you what it tastes like. It just tastes like I've got a lager taste in my throat.
Yeah. I don't think it's got that yet. Or
it's not a bad. As you say, if that's on tap instead of a Madry or Cruz Campo or Carlsberg, because it's the same percentage at 3.8, I'd have that all day, every day.
Yeah, it's got more character and more. Got more character in it.
Almost feels like
I think the memorability is not there. It's just a throwaway beer.
No. So well done to the William Brothers Brewers. We were celebrating the fact they stayed up. They were a 2-weeker last week, so now they're a 3-weeker. We haven't had one of those for yonks, which is very exciting. It's not a bad beer. Double Diamond. I worry about seeing Watney's Red Label or any of those other ones start
Watney's
reappearing.
Red Barrel and all of that.
Red Barrel, Tetley's, Skull reappearing
right back.
Yeah, reappearing on taps. But I think it's quite nice to hark back. It's like having your dad's 4 Capri's been discovered and souped up again. So it's nice to see. It looks good, brings back fond memories. And I wouldn't want to drive it. I wouldn't want to drive it for a long period of time.
Handles. Yeah, exactly.
But there you go.
It's nice to see. It's nice to see it back. It's nice to see someone put a spin on it. It's a decent beer. Would I drink it? Yeah. Will it stay in my fridge over the next, few weeks and months? Yeah, I'll carry on buying it. But only during the summer. In the winter, I probably wouldn't drink it. And would I then pick it up again next year? Don't know yet.
Yeah. And just for warning's sake, for all of you out there who listen every week, and there are a growing number of you, including some of our Russian listeners. That's a new one that appeared in the last 2 weeks. Apparently we're very popular in Moscow. There's not a lot else
fault.
There's not a lot else to do in Moscow at the moment, is there?
Yeah, that's your own fault. You know who you are.
Next week, we're doing something more fruity, and you know how much Matt enjoys a fruity beer. So
I'm not looking forward to it.
Don't forget, click subscribe and download it. We're out every Friday, and then 2 weeks till we get to the big one where we talk inane drivel. Some would say we do that anyway. Towards the end of every brewer we try. I'm not even going to set a challenge of how many beers we're going to taste in that one episode, but I already know it's going to be dangerous.
It will be.
It will be. But in the meantime, as we've come to the 30-minute mark, his name is Matt.
And he is Elton.
And we are Beer Together. And I promise for the next episode, I will have a script for the starter. We'll see you really soon.